The name's Šeško. Benjamin Šeško. I had to do it that way because if I'd have done like the actual music, I'd have probably got copyright striked. But the point is, Benjamin Šeško is now at 0 goals, 0 assists, and 7 appearances for club and country since joining Manchester United. And that is what you get, Benji boy, for joining a club in decline. Meanwhile, Voltoada scored on his debut. Right, so it's going to be that time again. We're going to have to do 2 videos in one. We're going to have the Wolves reaction, the Barça preview, and obviously with it being a Barça preview, that means there's going to be a giveaway again, so stay tuned for that. But before we get into everything, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate every bit of support that the channel's already been getting. It's been crazy growth over the past 6 months, and I appreciate every single one of you that's contributed towards that, but we've got to keep on going and we've got to keep on growing. So if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, hit like on the videos, and then with that said, let's just get into the video. So, Wolves, 3 points, good 3 points really overall. I think you'd kind of want it to have been done a bit easier than it was. Like, I feel like Wolves really could have got something out of that game. And I think it really did kind of feel like we were sort of coasting at 1-0, which like, I really don't feel like we should be trying to coast at 1-0. I feel like if we're gonna coast, you know, to like save energy and, you know, like make sure we don't get any injuries and stuff, I feel like we should at least get that 2-goal cushion first because it really did look quite shaky towards the end. I just think that's very, very risky behaviour considering, you know, we were playing against the team that is quite literally rock bottom of the Premier League. Like if we are to drop points at home against rock bottom of the Premier League, like that really doesn't set us up very well going into, you know, the next game and for the rest of the season. But having said that, it did very much feel like one of them performances where we did have one eye on the game midweek. I know we never should really look like that, but like it didn't really feel like anyone was mega up for that game. Obviously the usual quality shone through in your players like, you know, Tonali, Tino, Bruno, but then like, you know, your players that kind of run off fight and adrenaline and, you know, they're just kind of there for the battle when the game isn't as much of a battle as that game was, like when you can't really get up for it because obviously, as I said, they've got their mind on the midweek game. Like players like Joelinton, like he just kind of it wasn't his best game really, which is obviously potentially a bit harsh because obviously he was literally just back from injury. But yeah, you just know that Joelinton on Thursday night is just going to be absolutely everywhere, bodying everyone. And of course, we can't talk about the Wolves game without talking about the highlight of the game, and that's Voltoada making his debut. And before we get to the obvious talking point of Voltoada's debut, I want to talk about the assist of the assist to the disallowed goal, because that little bit of improvisation to chip it through the gap for Harvey Barnes was absolutely beautiful. And then obviously he got his goal as well, took his chance, and that is just absolutely perfect. Exactly what we need going into a massive midweek game that we've got coming up. Having that pressure taken off Voltoada, especially the way that he came into the team, like obviously through Visser's injury, like it felt like there was a bit of like kind of like tenseness, at least there was from me anyway, because obviously like he hadn't been able to be introduced into the team in the way that Eddie Howe generally likes to introduce players into the team, especially if they're from a foreign league. So you kind of had that sort of feeling of like, he's kind of been thrown in at the deep end, obviously the deep end being Wolves, but like thrown in at the deep end and you're like, is he going to be able to perform? You know, is he going to not score? Is he going to start to, you know, go on like a Benjamin Šeško run and just not score in his first like 7 or whatever? Like you just start to worry that, you know, kind of like all the overpriced kind of stuff is going to start to come back in. And yeah, but he's kind of put that to bed. He's now not Benjamin Šeško and we couldn't be happier for it. And of course it was assisted by Jacob Murphy, which is what we love to see because it's just a constant reminder that without Jacob Murphy, Alexander Isak is absolutely fucking useless. Okay, right, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. He's not useless. He is actually a really good player, but I'm sure you've seen the post, so I can't really take credit for it, but the post where it says that we have sold a really expensive iPhone to Liverpool and we've kept the charger in Jacob Murphy. Like, I'm not saying Alexander Isak has no game without Jacob Murphy. Of course he fucking does. He's an incredible striker, but Jacob Murphy really did create a lot for him, and Jacob Murphy's like unselfishness, constantly putting crosses into the box, and the link up that he had with Isak, like, I don't know that he's going to get that at Liverpool because both Gakpo and Salah both quite like to shoot, aren't particularly that big on crossing it in. Like, I'm not saying they don't get assists, they do get assists, but they don't put just constant crosses into the box, constantly looking to selflessly assist and never really looking to shoot in the way that Jacob Murphy does. Voltoada came out in his post-match interview and said that Jacob Murphy told him about, I think he said it was like 5 days ago, he said he said it a few times in the last 5 days, that he does just put crosses into the box constantly. So, you know, basically just be ready for them. And at 6'6", I know his game isn't about heading, I know it's about dribbling and being Volta Messi, but at 6'6", with Jacob Murphy's crossing, that's got some goals in it. Obviously, we can't get too carried away with things because obviously it's not like a major test against Wolves. You know, they are rock bottom of the Premier League, and no disrespect to Wolves, but again, as I said in the preview, like, I'm sure most Wolves fans would agree at the moment, like, and to be honest, it wasn't the best performance, it wasn't the most convincing performance, so we can't get too carried away with how we got them 3 points. But at the end of the day, as I said, a good 3 points, and 3 points is, you know, that's what we need at the end of the day. But it is still massive, regardless of who it's against, it is still massive to get that first goal for Voltoada, because as I said, it takes the pressure off, and it takes the pressure off going into a massive midweek game where, you know, especially, oh my God, if he scores in that midweek, if he scores against Barcelona, his confidence will be sky high after that, especially in the way that St. James's Park will absolutely erupt. Like, we all know it will, but like, if he scores, you know, especially if it's like the opening goal or like a winner or something like that, like, oh my God, St. James's Park will just absolutely explode, and his confidence will be sky high. And to be honest, he already looked confident. Like, you know, he speaks confidently anyway, you know, he speaks confidently about his game, like in all his, you know, interviews after we signed him. But then, you know, as I said, there was that kind of like shaky sort of first, you know, 20, maybe 30 minutes. And then he started to grow in confidence, I think. And then, you know, started to kind of get the feel for it. And then I just think, like, obviously he scored. And from, you know, the moment on where he scored, it was just very much like, just, yeah, like that. I mean, obviously that's where he did that, you know, cheeky like chip through for the assist of the assist. Like, he did just look very confident from that moment on. But yeah, the atmosphere, if he scores against Barcelona, is going to be absolutely mental. And I will get some clips of the atmosphere for the next video, so stay tuned for that. But that brings us on to looking ahead at the Barcelona game, a bit of a preview into the Barcelona game. And our chances in that game have been drastically improved by the news that Lamine Yamal is injured. So from an attacking standpoint, they've lost a lot of their threat. And then if you look from a defensive standpoint, like, just look at this post on Reddit about, like, kind of Barcelona's defense, and this just looks like an absolute feast for players like Gordon and Elanga. Like, this is like Ange ball levels of high line.
It's just who we are, mate.
With Gordon and Elanga's pace running into that space, and then obviously with Voltemade using his creativity, because his kind of thing is like that, you know, he can sort of play as a 10, like, so if he's kind of, if the balls are being fed into him, he's being like a hold-up striker, and then you've got Gordon and Elanga running in behind when he holds the ball up. Like, it could be worse than the PSG at home game. Like, obviously that was 4-1. This could, you know, with that level of pace in behind, like, I don't want to come out and say we're going to smash Barcelona 6-0, but like, if they keep a high line against Gordon and Elanga, that could happen, like, genuinely. I'm obviously not going to go out and say it will happen because it's, you know, it's Barcelona at the end of the day, but with that high line we're up against, with Lamine Yamal injured, with the electric atmosphere at St. James's Park, with Voltemade confident, we'll also have Gordon back. We got kind of no injuries really in the last game. Like, everyone's sort of looking quite fresh. Like, it just bodes very well for a big win, a big Champions League win at St. James's Park on Thursday night. And obviously I just said about Gordon being back. I apologize for my blunder on the last video, because obviously I was speaking about the possibility of dropping Gordon for Voltemade on the left, putting Wissa down the centre. Now, this was obviously before Wissa, it came out that Wissa was injured, but then Voltemade dropping Gordon, or Gordon being dropped for Voltemade on the left. I completely forgot. I'd been very busy in the lead up to making that video. I completely forgot that Gordon was actually suspended, but despite that suspension, he's still suspended. He's suspended for the next league game, which is, I think, against Bournemouth away. But for the Champions League game against Barcelona on Thursday night, Gordon is fine. Gordon isn't suspended for that, so Gordon can play. And the really good thing there is that Gordon also has managed to kind of keep his match sharpness, because he's been very lucky with the timing of the international break. So he's been able to keep his match sharpness. It's not like he's gone, you know, 3 straight weeks or something without a game of football, and then he's, you know, he's just going to be able to come straight in for that Barcelona game. So yeah, with Gordon's pace, Elanga's pace, like, they should just be able to absolutely feast on a high line like Barcelona play. Although, having said that, does Murphy play? Let me know in the comments what you think. Does Murphy play? Because I feel like Murphy played so well at the weekend. I feel like he's kind of played his way into contention for this game. Like, not that he had to play his way into contention for the game. Like, his season last season played him in, you know, into contention for any game this season. And obviously, like, I feel like Elanga's performances haven't really, you know, lit the world alight since he's been here. Like, I'm not saying that I'm like losing faith in Elanga. Like, I think he's going to be a great player eventually. He just needs some time. But like, has Murphy played his way into contention? Like, would it be unfair to not start Murphy? Because Murphy's not slow. Like, Murphy's really fast as well. So like, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Who starts right wing? Like, is it Murphy? Is it Elanga? Because I'm literally just looking at that high line and thinking that, you know, Elanga is one of the fastest players in the Premier League and he's probably better at cutting in and shooting himself. And I feel like that's more where the chance is going to come. It's going to be quite hard for Murphy to be played through and then Voltoada to keep up with him. Whereas, not that Voltoada's actually that slow. Like, people think that he's slow. He's not that slow. But I think that you're going to get more joy out of playing Elanga's pure blistering pace in behind, and then he can actually kind of finish the chance himself better than Murphy can. But let me know what you think. Who would you start at right wing? I feel like the rest of the team kind of picks itself really at the moment. Like, I know we kind of want to see Lewis Hall in at the moment, but at the same time, Trippier's experienced. Tino's been playing really well. Like, I feel like, you know, again, you probably want to see Botman in eventually, but then Dan Burn has just been absolutely killing it. So yeah, I feel like the rest of the team just picks itself at the moment, but the one that I'm kind of questioning is that right wing spot. Like, who do we play, Murphy or Elanga? So let me know in the comments. But yeah, there's a lot to get excited about and a lot that looks promising for a big win on Thursday night, which brings me on to predictions and the giveaway for Thursday night. So there's going to be, as usual, another £50 Google Play gift card. A few of you got really close on the last one. And honestly, there's a very hectic fixture schedule coming up, so there could end up being a £50 Google Play gift card on pretty much every video for the next however long. So make sure you not only subscribe, but hit the bell so that you don't get to the video really late. All the best predictions are taken and you're stuck with 6-5 Nick Pope first goal scorer. So as usual, it's going to be score prediction and first goal scorer for the Barcelona game. Drop your prediction as a reply to the pinned comment. All the rules are in the description, and that's it really. We're going to wrap the video up there. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.